Silverrun Forest is back for Farming Simulator 25. Just look at that. In my opinion, purely from a map building perspective, this is some of Giant Software's best work. Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome to Silverrun Forest, a new map released for Farming Simulator 25 yesterday by Giant Software, 26th of February. Now it's new to Farming Simulator 25 of course, but those of you who have been around FarmSim for a few years, FarmSim 22 in particular, will no doubt recognise Silverrun Forest. It was released for FarmSim 22 as part of the Platinum DLC, but they brought it back to Farming Simulator 25, and in my opinion this is one of the best forestry maps out there. It is absolutely gorgeous. Like I mentioned before, in my opinion, again, it's one of Giant Software's best work. It is a beautifully immersive, detailed map, and I'm very glad it's come back to Farming Simulator 25. So the map is initially it's inspired, by areas of the Pacific Northwest. Like I said, it's predominantly forestry. There are 4 arable fields on the map to start off with, and 39 purchasable areas of forestry land. And there's a handful of mods that you'll need that are termed as required mods. A Volvo pack that was released by Giant Software at the same time as the map, and this Komatsu wood cutter, tree cutter. I've purchased the whole pack. It's down at the shop, so we'll go and have a look at those in a bit more detail very shortly. But yeah, like I say, I'm very glad this map has come back to FarmSim 25. It is absolutely stunning, quite frankly. It contains so many. It's got quite a few unique features when it comes to production systems. For example, we've got the likes of the Boatyard, which you can purchase, and using wood, of course, from the trees, you can construct yourself a boat. You've got the Mineshaft up on the mountain here, which again is it's a beautiful thing. And of course you've got the big old roller coaster down in the town here, which is something that you can really get your teeth into and get that built if you so wish. Really quite a little bit of uniqueness to the game, something different I suppose. But yeah, it's really, really nice. And there's just parts of this map that loads of parts of this map that just looking at them just make me want to play it. It's things like that that draw me to a map. For example, the way the big wide highways roll up through the trees, and the way the lanes lanes kind of wind their way up past steep rock faces and up into the trees. And again, the detail of the minecart track, for example, the way it winds out of the mountain, out of the mine shaft and back into it again. I just find really, really nice. And again, like I say, I know I'm guilty of using this word quite often, but immersion, it makes it feel really, really nice. So we just had a bit of a wander down the hill into the town, and what we've got here, it's just set out very quickly. I'll run through them very quickly, but these are what are required mods to run the map, especially in new farmer mode. I'm not sure if you actually do technically 100% need them, but they are a lovely set of machines that Giants have released again for free on the mod hub yesterday. So starting from the small ones going up to the big ones, you've got the Volvo Crabat here, little 40 horsepower thing. In fact, bear with me 2 seconds, let me just bring up my visibility HUD thing there. So yeah, we've got the Volvo Crabat T425, and we've got the same thing but branded in the Bolunda Munktel colours. Exactly the same thing essentially, just one's red and one's green. It's got some different stickers on. We've got the Volvo BM 2654 small tractor, and we've got two. I've got two of these put down here just because one of them you can equip one of them with a pallet fork and one of them with a rock shovel. But yeah, the Volvo LM841, and then you've got its slightly bigger brother next door, the LM845 with a universal bucket on the front. That's a little bit bigger, so I thought it was best equipped onto this one. And then you've got the SM462 forwarder, which is pretty much for picking up your logs and your trees. And next door, of course, you've got the DR631, which is essentially just a bit of a loader, as it were. And then you've got the Komatsu here, another required mod, lovely looking thing, the 911.5 X3M log cutter. But like I say, I'm not sure if you necessarily 100% need them, because there are other machines in the base game that do the same thing. But it says it on the mod up there, required mods. So here they are. So yeah, so I'll just stick them down at the shop here for us all to look at. Have a quick look at them before we look into the map in a bit more detail. So yeah, I think before we move forward, let's jump into the PDA and have a look. Right, into the PDA. As you can see, I have started us out in new farmer mode, and when you do start in new farmer mode, you start with plot of land 32, 33 and 36, all forestry land, to get your teeth into a bit of tree felling to start off with. But as you can see, towards the south of the map, there are 4 areas of arable land to start off with if you wanted to keep your finger in a bit of arable work. You've got plot 26 down here that comes in at £110,201. Forgive me, I should have my money set to dollars here, shouldn't I? But yeah, we've got plot of land 27 at 124,723, 39 at 89,740, and plot 41 at 48,044 pounds. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of production systems on the map. A few of them are quite unique to Silverrun. So over like in the town here, where a lot of them are situated, and they're nicely kind of blended into the town. They don't stand out too much, which I quite appreciate. But you've got the likes of the wood turner, again, relatively unique to Silverrun. You've got the furniture factory, you've got the barrel factory, art accessories factory. We'll have a look at all these production systems in the actual menu in a moment or two. Shingles factory, the pet accessories factory, the flooring factory. Down towards the very south of the map here, you've got the Boatyard. Now, it doesn't come up with the ability to purchase this in this menu, but you can buy this one. You've got the likes of the paper factory in towards the centre of the map. Over towards the left, towards here, you've got the Mineshaft. Again, it doesn't say that you can purchase this, and actually you can't from the map. I do have my icons turned on, but there's no ability to purchase this particular Mineshaft on the map. I don't know whether that's an oversight on Giant's side of things. I don't know, because you can place down a Mineshaft from the construction menu and own it in that respect, but you can't actually purchase this one. And I have just spent a few minutes getting my head around how to utilise this, and I'll showcase that in a few moments. Up towards the north of the map, you've got the old Sawmill, and then I think for productions, that's relatively that's most of them covered, but they are really quite unique. There's a lot of things you can do on here using the wood that you fell from your trees that you haven't ordinarily been able to use on other maps, which is really quite cool. So that's pretty much it. But as you can see, 99% it's all forestry land. You've got relatively small areas. You've got plot of land 40 down here, which is 19,148. You've got some big ones, plot 25 here at 339,000. And a bit of everything in between. Farmland 6 at 142 there, right out to the east, farmland 20 at 87. Obviously, it's all farmland, it's all forestry land, sorry. But you can go with your imagination, can't you? You know, if you wanted to fell the trees and replant them and just keep the forestry business going, of course that's an option. But of course, like, I'm quite tempted by the idea of having the areas of land and felling the trees and then turning some of it to arable and seeing what you could do, seeing where imagination can go in the construction menu. Because there are, yes, a lot of the forestry areas are quite hilly, so that could limit you when it comes to creating arable land from that land, but there are also some areas, for example, I think some of these down here that we currently own, I think would lend themselves quite well to a bit of arable land with a bit of imagination. These two plots of land here, 37 and 42, are relatively, I think 42 is relatively flat, 37 does go up a hill a bit, so, but again, you see where I'm going with it. You've got a bit of imagination, you can go for your life and make something properly unique on your own version of the map, so it's really, really cool. And I suppose that's a relatively straightforward and simple introduction to the map PDA. Of course, there's plenty of sell points. You've got a rural farm over there on the west, rural farm south there towards the south central area of the map. The town is a beautiful little area. We'll have a look at that in a little bit more detail shortly. But you've got the likes of the fire department, which is a sell point. You've got vintage clothes there, Sunnyside Cafe, you've got a hotel there. We've got the Silverrun market, of course. You've got the Sawmill there. What have we got there? That's the rural farm up towards the top here. This is the debris crusher, of course. You're always going to need a debris crusher. The Waffle Hut North, and right up at the top there, you've got the sell point for Riverbend Springs, interestingly. Obviously, with that being another base game map, they've included that as a sell point. So you've got Riverbend Springs there, and Riverbend Springs there towards the west of the map as well. So, yep, pretty cool. So a quick run through of the available to purchase production chains that are on the map. Again, these ones are relatively unique to Silverrun, but you've got things like the Art Accessories Factory, where you can construct easels and picture frames using a load of the planks that you've had made from your trees. You've got the Barrel Factory. Obviously you can make barrels, you can make bathtubs, and you can make buckets. You will need a little bit of metal for that as well, and we'll look into a little bit of that as to how you create that. You can buy it in. There's a warehouse on the map where you can buy pretty much everything that you need if productions weren't your thing and you just wanted to spend money on the products you need to make these particular things. But if you did want to make the metal, I'll show you how to do that very shortly. You've got the Flooring Factory. You've got the Furniture Factory, of course. You've got the old Sawmill. I suppose none of these really need too much introduction to the. I suppose we all know roughly what they do. You've got the Paper Factory, where you can make carton rolls and paper rolls. The Pet Accessories Factory, where you can construct bird houses, cat trees, and dog houses. You've got the Shingle Factory, where you can make shingles. And you've got the Wood Turner, where you can make a few more of the intricate wood products from the game. You've got the bowls, you've got pepper grinders, you've got staircase railings made from planks and made from wood. So yeah, bit of variety there in the production chain menu, of course. Right, we'll start up here on the mountain at the Mineshaft. Now, I've started up here initially because this one took me a few minutes to figure out what to do with it, because there was a few things that didn't necessarily work as they should do. On the map, when you start off, there are these two vehicles here parked outside the Mineshaft, making you think that, oh, you'll be able to utilise these. You don't own them when you walk up to them. You can interact with them, you can get in them, you can start them up, you can drive around in them, but as far as I can tell, for all intents and purposes, they're a bit useless, because when you walk up to it, you don't get the little label in the bottom right to say we own them. And when I tried to use this loader to pick up some iron ore out of the shaft here, I couldn't do anything with it. So I was like, well, what's the point in that? But sure enough, because I don't own the mine shaft at the minute. This is, you can't actually buy the land that this is on, unfortunately. But when I did bring one of my own loaders up here, of course, as you can see, when you own the vehicle, you can load it up with iron ore. So it does work. Just like I said, those two vehicles there, for all intents and purposes at the minute, seem to be a bit pointless. But if you can make use of the iron ore, you've got to buy it in. Obviously, it's not free. You do pay for it when you load up your loader. But if you in the construction menu, there is an iron furnace that makes metal. So if you needed to make metal, you can either buy it in from the warehouse, which would probably be quite expensive, or I suppose in a very similar expensive fashion, you can place down the iron furnace, come up here and buy in the iron ore, take the iron ore to your furnace, and then smelt it into metal, as it were, and get your metal in that respect. So I just wanted to clarify that. That was the way I kind of spent a few minutes just figuring out what to do with this. You can't. There's only so much you can do with it up here. Obviously, you've got the debris crusher, where you can bring your stones, and essentially that's pretty much it for the mine shaft in that respect. You can't. There's no icon to buy it, so you can't own it. Like I said, you can place one down from the construction menu, and then you would own it. But yeah, so in that respect. This is how that's how to use the mineshaft up here on the mountain. Make sure you've got your own loader. But it is a beautifully laid out area. It really is. This is one of the features of this map that I absolutely love. I'll just jump quickly into flight mode, and then it just makes things a little bit quicker. But yeah, just this whole mountain area. It's a shame that we can't actually go in and interact. I mean, obviously I can fly over the fence there, and you can wander around here on the woodwork, but you can't actually get in to this area and go down and have a bit of an explore and see what's going on there. I did find this before though, without spoiling anything. There's one of the collectibles. It's a big wooden bear, which is pretty cool. Found that purely by accident, but yeah. It does look brilliant though, don't you agree, ladies and gentlemen? It is a beautifully modelled map, this. Very, very special. Right, we're now up at the relatively very north-central area of the map. Behind us there, or in front of us now, sorry, is the big sawmill. And I love this sprawling landscape of the sawmill factory in this area. It's really, really nice. But this building here is the warehouse. Now, I do like this option that we've got on this particular map, in that if you wanted to build the roller coaster, for example, which we'll go and have a look at in a second or two, if you wanted to build that, but you just wanted to build it and do nothing else, you didn't want to go through the relatively long process of felling trees to make all the products that you need to make the roller coaster, you can, if you wanted to, if you've got the money of course, you can just buy them all in from here. So any of the products that you need to build the boats, to build the roller coaster or anything like that, you can just buy from here and come and get them, and then build the roller coaster and build a boat or whatever. It's so I do like that option, because obviously I mean, you can do it the long way, of course. Like I said, you can fell your trees and process the wood into all the various different things that you need to do to create these products. But if you just wanted to do it in a hurry, of course, you can do that as well. I really do appreciate that. But another unique feature that this map does contain is these, quite frankly, beautiful giant sequoia trees. Really big, really tall, and also, I suppose, relatively unique to this part of the world. Yeah, really do like these. Now, I believe these are still unique to this map. I did check, now that I've downloaded the map, I went into another map to see if you could plant or place down the sequoia trees from on another map, and unfortunately you can't. Maybe there's a way of doing that in the XMLs. If you're on PC, at least, maybe you could possibly a way of doing that if you so wanted, but unfortunately not at the minute. You can plant giant sequoia trees on this map. You can buy pallets of saplings of giant sequoias, so if you were to fell a load of them, you could replant them again, of course, and get yourself a bit of a giant sequoia forest going. So I'd imagine you get quite a bit of money for a great big thing like that. But yeah, and you're going to need some big equipment to shift them as well, that's for sure. Quick look at the old sawmill now. Now, this is a gorgeous model, I've got to say. I really do. I know I said it before, but I really do like the way this whole area of the map feels up here. This whole wood processing area at the top of the map, just south of the warehouse there. But yeah, remembering back to 22, I seem to remember that this is a bit of a tip trigger here on the edge of the water. This is where you process your larger logs, your lengthy logs. But there's your wood cell trigger there on the corner of the jetty there. But essentially, I think you bring your big log trailers, dip them into the water here and unload everything, and they get fed up into the production system there. This is a purchasable production system. It costs just under $400,000 if that's what you wanted to do, but you've got this area here for processing your larger logs, and you've got a wood chipper here for processing your smaller bits of wood there, again to feed up into the factory there. And then just over here you've got your area for dealing with your wood chips, which is great. There's your train, of course. I haven't included much of the train at the minute because it's visually it's a bit broken, as you'll see. It looks fine there, but once it gets a certain distance away, it's been a case on most maps now. But it kind of, there you go, it just starts to, it's like its rendering frames per second just seem to completely drop. And it's to be fair, it doesn't seem as bad on this map as it has done on others. But anyway, yeah, it's a known problem, I believe. But yeah, like I say, I love the way this big area feels. It's lovely. A little bit further south now on the map, and this is the paper factory. And I just wanted to showcase things like this to you, because obviously, you know, the production system itself needs no explanation, does it? You feed it wood and you get paper out of the other end. And but I really do love the oldie worldy look and the rundown wooden appearance of buildings like this on this map. And especially this one, the way it's situated next to this massive arched bridge. It's just really, really nice. That, like I keep saying, immersion is key for me. And this stands out massively for me. It's just really, really nicely laid out. I just like the idea of just driving about here, bringing your stuff down here, and yeah, awesome, absolutely awesome. Quick flyover of the arable land available on the map to start off with. This is plot of land 26, right on the very south of the map, next to the river. Relatively small. If you wanted to start off small with a bit of arable, you've got the option to. And then we cross the river, and these are the other 3 plots of land here. You've got plot 27 here, currently with some green beans in. You've got this, this is plot of land 41, which is, obviously it's designated as a plot of land, but it's just got meadow grass in it at the minute. And then you've got this empty field here, plot 39. It's a half decent size, I suppose, but again, it's one of the things that I find wonderful about this game. You can use your imagination and just go for your life. There's all sorts of stuff you could do with this. I'm sure, obviously, I know you can't necessarily join these 2 fields together because you've got the road in the middle, but you could perhaps do something with these 2, utilising this little plot of land as well, perhaps. Make one big field. But over here, this is one of the sawmills on the map. You've got the sawmill, which is predominantly just a sell point for your wood if you were just selling your wood, but then you've got the old sawmill that we saw before. But I just love, again, just the little bits of detail, just these massive piles of lumber that just make it look and feel like it's a busy forestry point. It's yeah, really, really nice. But just over the back here and heading towards the town, this is obviously one of the big main features and production systems on the map. This gorgeous old broken wooden roller coaster that is, I believe it's quite a feat to get this done. I haven't actually done it myself at all, either in FARMERSIM 25 or in FARMERSIM 22. But yeah, this takes a bit of work, I believe. This takes a lot of products. I mean, if we have a look initially, the first load of products that it requires to get to the next step, you need 6,000 litres of wood beams, 4,032 litres of planks, 2496 litres of long planks, 480 litres of metal, 200 floor tiles, and 2016 staircase railings. So if you were building those, if you wanted to do it from scratch and do the building yourself with the production systems, there's a couple of production systems that you're going to need to own there, of course, straight away. You've got the likes of the iron furnace to make the metal. You'll need the flooring production system. You'll need the wood turning production system to make the staircase railings, and obviously one of them to make the long planks and the normal planks and the wooden beams as well. So it does take a bit of commitment, I've got to say. Or, like I said, you can just, if you've got the money to, just throw a load of money at the warehouse and pick up all the bits and bobs you need and just trailer them down and get it built. But yeah, like I said, I've never actually done this one myself, but it is a lovely looking thing. It really is. I was in 2 minds whether to kind of throw it all together, but I really didn't know how long it was going to take me. So yeah, it's I would look forward to seeing this completely built, though, I must say. Right, we'll take a quick flight over Silverrun town now, just to get our bearings. There's the dealership where we were before with all the vehicles lined up. We've got a fuel station right across the road there. Obviously, no explanation needed. That's where you get your fuel from. But a few of the production systems and sell points are located in this lovely little town. This is another relatively unique feature I love about this map. The map contains 20 collectibles. We've already seen, I suppose I've given away where one of them is, over in the Mineshaft over there. The big wooden bear, but there's 20 of them in total, and they all, as you collect them, appear one by one on one of these concrete plinths in this lovely Great Woods gallery. So I really quite like that idea, having all your collectibles nicely laid out for you to look at when you've spent all that time finding them. But what have we got? So directly behind us, over the roof here, we have got this. Which one's this down here? Let's have a look. This one is the shingles factory. And then across the road over here, we've got the picture frame factory. So let's fly over the road over here. This one is this is the barrel maker. Obviously, it's got barrels outside. But again, lovely building. Got to say, the models are really, really nice. If we take a quick flight over here to the next one, this one is furniture factory. And next door, what have we got in this one next door? We've got the this is the wood turners, the lathe wood turning workshop. That's pretty cool. And then we've got a couple of sell points over here. This Thrift Me second-hand shop, that's the vintage clothes store. And then I think round the back here is a sell point. I think this is the cafe. Forgive me, I might have to consult the map for this one. Let's have a look. Yeah, the Sunnyside Cafe. And then over the road a little bit here, let's try and find it, is this one here. This is the fire station, I think. Yeah, Silverrun Fire and Rescue. That acts as a sell point in the town here. But I just really like the way the town feels. It's, again, massively detailed. Lovely, really well laid out. You've got a hotel over here. It's like motel, hotel looking building here, which is a sell point. But even this, just this lovely little cul-de-sac turning circle here, just feels really quite cool. Love it, I really do. And I think there's a couple more, or have we seen them all now? I think we might have seen them all now, I think. Yeah, there's a couple of productions over here. This one. Oh, this is the pet accessories factory, where you can build your cat house and your dog house and whatnot. And then you've got one around the back here. Now this is the flooring factory, right? Okay, there we go. So that's the main chunk of the production systems and sell points in the little town here. And last but not least, you've got the Boatyard down here in the very south end of the map next to the river, just down the road from the town. Now this one, when you pop into the menu, you can't actually, into the map PDA, sorry, the option isn't there to actually buy it. But as you can see, the icon is there. If we come down to the ground, you can buy the Boatyard for £125,000, dollars, euros, whatever. So it is that option is there, which is that's what made me think that maybe the icon was just somewhere to be discovered over at the Mineshaft, but unfortunately it doesn't seem that the same thing stands the same for the Mineshaft. You can't seem to buy that, unfortunately, but you can buy the Boatyard nonetheless, and if you so wish, get some boats built. It does require a few bits of everything there. You've got some long planks and normal planks and wood beams, some metal again, some floor tiles. So yeah, there's a bit of commitment and products involved in purchasing that, but again, it's not something I've done yet in the game, even back on FARMERSIM 22, but I wouldn't mind giving it a go, that's for sure. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, a relatively brief but hopefully detailed enough overview of Silverrun Forest from Giant Software. This is a beautiful map, like I've said multiple times. I really, really do appreciate and enjoy this map and its detail. It's a perfect map to solo, obviously, if you really wanted to go the long haul. It's good for a single player, but again, it's perfect for multiplayer as well, because there is so much to do when it comes to forestry. It's big work, isn't it? And when you team up with your mates, it'll make it all the more fun. Those of you who go back as far as FARMERSIM 22 will know this was the location for the FARMERSIM guy and Argsy Gaming's wonderful series, Logging League. That was absolutely brilliant, and it really goes to show what you can do with a multiplayer setup. It was an incredible watch, and I wholeheartedly recommend, if you've got the time, go back and watch some of their videos on either of their channels from the Logging League, because it was absolutely brilliant. It was so much fun. Predominantly, it was all live streams. It was all but there was a lot of setup that went into it from Argsy's and the FARMERSIM guys, admins and setup people there who were doing all the work behind the scenes. But it was an incredible thing to watch. Wholeheartedly recommend. Go watch it. So yeah, there we go. Silverrun Forest from Giant Software. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun and a little bit interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please consider giving the video a like if you can. It does do wonders. It helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 and you like the idea of supporting the channel and helping out a creator, as always, I would be massively appreciative. And of course, if any of you are in the market for a multiplayer server and you like the idea again of supporting the channel and helping out a creator, but also getting a 10% off reduction in the price of that server, please consider using my G-Portal affiliate link, which again will be in the video description below. As always, any help and support there would be massively appreciated. So thanks very much for your time watching the video, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.